the origin of the word. What did you learn from that? What's that? Well, you heard about 5 different people, educated people, right? I mean, the one guy was a Harvard professor, one guy was a professor in word origins, one guy was another professor in African history. Did they come up with one definition for where Negro came from? Nigger came from?
They said it from Spanish.
One guy said it was the Spanish.
Dutch. The Dutch.
One guy said it was from the Dutch. What did the Harvard professor say it came from? What do you say?
Slave people.
I don't want to see that device in class, okay? I don't care. You were watching it. What was another definition? What did the black Harvard professor say about the origin of nigger? Look, as I said, I'm marking you on your ability to speak, and if you don't, I'll give you 0 for it. If you want to pass the year, you've got to make more of an effort to pay attention. And yeah. He said, no, one guy said it came from the word Niger, which is a country in Africa, right? N-I-G-E-R. The Harvard professor said it came from the Latin, niger, which apparently in Latin means black, okay? So what I get out of all that is no one, and one guy said, I've never heard a definition yet that I accept. So isn't this amazing? A word that's got all that power, and no one can say there's where it came from. There's all these different interpretations, you know, like everyone's got their own view on it. Amazing, because normally you can trace a word back. And say that's where the word came from. It came from the Middle French that went to this word to this word. They can't. So I found that kind of interesting. I didn't know that. I thought, everyone agreed it all came from whatever, Latin, Dutch, or whatever, right? What about the guy they were talking to, a pretty articulate guy, came up with 4 different definitions. I don't know if that's accurate, but he came up with 4 ways the word is used, right? Dylan, give me one of those ways the word nigger is used. Why is it such a word that people don't use today? What's that definition?
Sir, I have one.
Sorry, hold on a second. What's that? Yeah. I mean, the first one they said is a term of derision, to put down people.
Like, what's up, my nigga?
That's the one that people recoil when they hear the word nigger, right? They go, because it means you're disgusting, you're despicable, you're beneath contempt. So that's one definition. What's another definition they came up with? Yeah, Gabriel.
Well, people would use it like between themselves.
Which people?
Like a lot of people, they categorize themselves as like.
Yeah, as a term of affection. That's number 2 is like, and it's pretty weird, right? To think of a word that means something completely horrible can also mean something with love. That's a bizarre use of a word. But yeah, it means also a term of affection amongst black. Yeah.
Let's say if they say that between colored people and black people, if someone was doing something stupid, then
that's the 3rd one. That's the Chris Rock one. Like even blacks use it amongst blacks, not as a term of affection, as a term of acting like a not like a poor black, like a badass black. So there's a term of derision, but only amongst blacks, right? And what's the 4th one they said? Yeah, well, that's the part number 3, right? It's a class thing. It's like, I'm a more upper class black, and niggers are these like real, guys who like, No, I mean, look, I'm using the word, right? We should really at least use the word. I mean, I'm not using it derogatory. If I call a black person that in an offensive way, that'd be horrible.
So, do you ever call a black person a nigger?
No, I would never do that. Never.
Well, how about if it was a friend?
Like I said, when I was a little kid, I would go, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigger by the toe, and think of nothing of it. I would just, the same way that kid, we were, remember that when they said, what's the name of that cat that said nigger?
Yeah.
We were driving down in Virginia about maybe 10 years ago. My daughter was like 9 years old, and there was a black cat there. And this woman who was like 7 years of age, my daughter said, what's your cat's name? The woman said, nigger baby. Just like that, just nigger baby. Like nothing like, oh, I shouldn't use that
Was
word.
she black?
No, this was a white woman.
Oh, shit.
A white woman. And I don't think she meant anything.
She's a wigger then.
It was just a term that was used, right? So, I mean, that, I think, what's the 4th one? And I don't know about that, but, okay, there's the term of derision, the term of love between blacks, the term of blacks where they're looking down on other blacks. Yeah? Sure. Who? Yeah, you could, sure. What's the other one, the last one they talked about there?